Hey everyone, welcome to The More You Know, The Better It Tastes, the podcast of San Antonio restaurants and the flavors of Texas. And I'm here with my business partner.
I'm Alan Williams. I'm
Yes.
glad to be here today.
I am so excited to be here today because we have some amazing guests.
You know, what's cool, Susie, we get to know so many of our guests. Not all of them, but we get to know so many ahead of time. These guys are old friends already.
I mean, some of my favorite people.
I'll agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll agree with that. We have our friends from Eddie's Taco House. We have Priscilla Caballero and we have Cassandra Caballeros. How are you doing today?
We're doing great. Thank you.
Awesome.
Doing great this morning.
Awesome. So glad to have you all here. So Eddie's Taco House, probably everyone here knows Eddie's. It's been around right at 50 years, and we're going to talk about how that. But there's two locations. 402 West Cevallos. That's just a little bit southwest of Southtown.
Mm-hmm.
And also, that could be considered Southtown. I don't know. Let's say it's right. Let's call it Southtown.
We're right at the edge of Southtown.
Yeah.
Decision made. It's Southtown. 402 West Cevallos. And also 3755 Thousand Oaks, right at Wetmore and Bulverde, where they changed names, same street.
Right.
That's the one close to my house, the one I go to.
Well, and so the one on Cevallos is open until
3 p.m.
3 o'clock, yes. Mm-hmm. And then the one on Thousand Oaks has a full bar and all that kind of thing, and have happy hours, and it's open till what time?
9 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, 9 p.m. So yeah, that's your full service restaurant right there.
Yep. Great margaritas, just so you know.
Well, thank you all for being here today. We're excited to learn all about Eddie's Tacos. So I mentioned we're getting ready to celebrate the 50-year anniversary, but looking at you two, y'all are not even 50 years old yet. So how can that be?
Well, I'm pretty close, but we're very proud to be third-generation owners of Eddie's Taco House. My grandparents started with a Molino, and then my Uncle Edward started with his own Eddie's Taco House out in a little part of the Molino. And then
just in front, like in the lobby area or something
just like in
that.
the lobby area.
So at that time, was he just selling tacos or?
I want to say they were just selling tacos. And if I remember correctly, my grandmother said that they were 25 cents.
Wow.
And the very big, and then him, along with my grandmother, they were the ones that came up with like the formulas and the recipes and all of that good stuff. And it was a lot of hit and miss in the beginning.
Sure.
I used to love talking to my grandma and hearing all the old stories of how when they first started. And quite honestly, she would say, like, they were so grateful that they had made it the years that they had made it, because in the beginning, they did not know what they were doing or quite the recipes and all of that good stuff. But with a lot of trial and error and a lot of hard work, they made it through. And so I think it's a great legacy and a great privilege to be able to still work.
Oh,
and
that's
for
cool.
sure.
And how cool for you guys. Y'all probably kind of grew up in the Molino, didn't you?
Very much so. It was my daycare.
Your daycare?
It was literally my daycare. I am the youngest of four, and my mother was a single mother, and I had an older brother who's only 13 months older than me. So at the time, the restaurant wasn't as prosperous, so she couldn't afford to send us both to daycare. So I got sent to Eddie's daycare. Oh. And I would spend most of my days in the office with my grandmother as she did bookkeeping for both businesses, or roaming around talking to customers.
Yeah.
And
that's so cool.
they love telling me stories of how I used to, and I remember talking with all the elderly customers. There was a gentleman called Don Trine, and I guess he was limited on resources, so he would eat just tortillas, and my grandmother had a station for butter. So that's where I learned my love for eating tortillas with butter.
Oh, I love that.
So
That
I
is
would
so
sit
cool.
with him and eat with him, and I got to basically my grandma would say I was a receptionist of Eddie's.
Yeah, it's so sweet if you go on to, for example, your TikTok or even on your Instagram, even Facebook. I mean, you have such a great following, but you see some of the comments and you'll see a video where one of you is talking about a dish or the restaurant or whatever, and people will go on there and comment and say, oh my gosh, I used to go to Eddie's when you guys were running around the restaurant as little kids. So it's so cool that people have that, that relationship and that history.
Yeah.
They share in the history with you guys.
It's always nice when we get to meet somebody that's like went to the Laredo location and they remember either my grandmother or my uncle, or they remember even myself working as a teenager. And it's just, we're so appreciative of all the years and all the loyalty. Without them, we wouldn't be who we are today. So it's really nice.
Cassandra, have you ever worked anywhere else? Has Eddie's been your whole?
I did. I had a little stint in Seattle, Washington for about 7 years.
Oh, wow.
And I always like to say that I had a great opportunity to work under some restaurants that taught me a lot under some really great managers. And I always say, like, I got my PhD when I was in Seattle. And then I came back and I used a lot of what I learned when I came back at Ceballos and then now at Thousand Oaks. And so I have worked at other establishments.
And Priscilla, you as well, before you came back and got involved with Eddie's, you had other things going on also, right?
School-wise, yes. But I've only worked for Eddie's. I've interned at a bank, but I've always worked for Eddie's since I was very young.
Since you were little.
And I continued it on.
Yeah.
I knew college time that's what I wanted to do. And my mom, I look back at it now, and I was only 22 years old.
Yeah.
And I don't know how she invested in her hope, but she opened Thousand Oaks with that inspiration that was going to be something that we continued on and move forward. And we actually had more plans before she passed to continue to grow and grow the establishments and even venture into different areas. And me and my sister hope in a couple of years we can continue to do that.
I love that.
It seems to me, and I've got my pulse on restaurants, Eddie's has just continued to get more and more popular. The more I talk to people, it just seems like, I don't know if y'all are doing things different or if it's just that people are realizing what a great restaurant it is. Because more and more people saying, I live out in that area, and I remember going to Eddie's is good. And then after you go a couple of times, Eddie's is really good. And after you keep, Eddie's is the best.
You have to get your
Eddie's.
You have to get your Eddie's fix.
Yeah.
It's like, what are y'all doing out there?
And I think for me, part of it, because we know you guys, I know that everything is done from scratch. And that raises the bar.
It really does. And
then you look at your prices, and your prices are just ridiculously inexpensive. There's some specials.
Yeah, and I think part of the appeal too is, of course, the amazing food, but also the hospitality, and you feel like family. And I mean, I've been lucky enough, of course, to be back in your kitchen several times, and everybody, the atmosphere is just. It's just a good atmosphere. But then, like Alan said, the ladies back there, they're rolling out the fresh tortillas and, making the rice from scratch, and, has the big pot of beans going all from scratch and chopping the fresh vegetable. It's so cool that you've maintained that for so many years and continued that, that process on.
Well, we were really blessed because our grandparents and our mother, they set a really great foundation for us. I mean, from the very beginning, Eddie's has always had their own butcher, so we've always cut our own meat in-house.
Yeah.
And then, like the practices and the hospitality and all of that good stuff, that came from like my grandmother and like our mother, our business practices, our quality of standards and all of that stuff. And so I think what we try to do with every generation that comes forward is we try to better the restaurant in some kind of way. Yeah. And so I think that that's really both my sister and myself's goal, is just to move the restaurant forward from what they've already set the precedent.
Right. And quality ingredients too. I think that's such a big part of it.
I think staying with the basics. I think my mom, it may sound simple and many restaurants may practice this, but she always said quality, good service, and making sure that we kept the price affordable. She was very big on volume. She wanted many customers, not few.
Right.
And she wanted us to make sure we stayed true to the quality, to making sure that we cut everything in-house, making sure we found the right vendors, making sure the right produce companies. We try to stay local, try to stay, yes, we do buy from some of the bigger chains like Benny Keith, but we still buy our spices from a local company. We still buy our produce from local companies because those are the quality ingredients that are necessary to keep our food to that expectation.
Right.
And I think recently getting customers to get to see behind the scenes in the background and see where that foundation lies on different platforms, and maybe coming out of our shyness and putting our face forward so they get to see that, I think is what makes us, I think is what's going to help us and continue to help us grow.
Yeah.
Because I love our name, and my uncle, he had a beautiful name, Edward, and Eddie's Taco House. But sometimes I do feel that Eddie's Taco House doesn't say everything that we're all about.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so much more.
Because there's so much more than tacos. Yeah, exactly. It's so true.
So before we get too far ahead, let's talk about Eddie.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
Is that what you were going to go to? Yeah. So your Uncle Eddie started selling tacos in front of this Molino. And so what happened?
So he did, for the time that he was here with us, he did a lot of great things. I think he was 28 when he passed, and by the time he was 28, he already had Eddie's Taco House at the 5 Points, and then we had another one at W.W. Wright Road, and then we were already building the Ceballos location.
Wow.
He had an incredible work ethic. It's one of the best things that we inherited from both our our family. Back then, they were open until 9 p.m., 7 days a week, and so from 6 a.m., I want to say from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Wow.
7 days a week, and there was no rest. Unfortunately, there was an accident in the Molino part of the restaurant, and tragically, he died from an explosion. And then I think, the resolve of the family back then, it was just amazing because we kept pushing. I'm not quite sure how many days we were closed or that exact point of it, but my mom came down in 1980 when he did pass, and she never left. She took over W.W. White, and they kept it to go. And then tragically, 4 years later, we lost my grandfather as well. So for the majority of the time that Eddie's has been in business, it's been run, we're proud to say, by women, both my grandmother and my mother. My grandmother immigrated to this country in the 50s before my mom was born, and she didn't know how to speak English, and she didn't know how to drive. And she worked so hard and so tirelessly to get that business through. And then thankfully, Mom took over. And then as Mom got us through school, all four of us, as a single parent, and we all worked at that restaurant. The boys too. Only one brother decided this isn't for me.
Right.
But he's still very much a part of our family. We love him to death. And she just, she just pushed us through, and they just kept working, and it was just kind of like that resolve, to just never give up. Bad things happen, and you just got back up. And just kept on going.
So the Ceballos location opened its doors for business in 1992. And so I remember hearing a story, actually one of the stories that Cassandra had told, but that you remember opening the doors that first day and having, what was it, 30 customers or something,
So we sold $100 our first day.
Isn't that interesting?
To a Ceballos. And I still remember our first customer, Mr. Mike. Every now and then I get to see him through the drive-thru.
So cool.
He worked across the street, and he came in and he ordered a caldo. And then that was kind of like the beginning of the start of Ceballos. And we just kind of slowly built on that. And it's been fun. It's been really fun. And we've had customers. It's wonderful to see customers come in with their children, and now their children have children. And we see them, and, they've grown with us, and we've grown with them. And, we've lost some very special people along the way, too, that we still have very fond memories of.
Sure.
And, it's just been an experience. It's been a blessing.
Yeah. And people, employees that have been with you guys for 25 years.
We still have one of our original cooks working for us at our Thousand Oaks location. He's been with us 40 plus years, and his brother is one of our cooks at our Ceballos location.
Wow, that is so cool.
So very much blessed that he continues to train, and he continues to be one of the fastest cooks that we have.
And like you said, you're still butchering your own meat. So you have a butcher area where that's...
Yeah. If you build another restaurant, you should put a glass window up.
That would be
people can
cool,
watch that
right?
butcher, because that's incredible.
And also,
your tortillas.
Yes, the tortilla making is.
Yeah, bring her out front.
Seriously, yeah.
Mr. Robert, he's pretty shy. So.
Yeah, pretty shy. I don't know.
He'd be like, no.
None of us like to watch him when he's operating the saw.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
It's very nerve-wracking.
You know what? We need to get that on video.
It's very nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
But
he knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
yes, he does.
Done it a few years.
Yeah, he's done it just a few years. Yeah.
Prior to working for us, he was a supervisor for one of the large meat companies here in San Antonio. So we're very blessed that he's now full-time with us, but he has a lot of prior experience, many decades of butchering and supervising.
And he's a prime example of what we try to do at Eddie's, where we get a staff member in, and then we give them opportunities within, because Mr. Robert was our butcher for the longest time. And we were in need of a manager at Ceballos, and he's like, you know what, I want to try that out. And so he does a really great job. All of our managers do so well, and all of our staff members well. A lot of them have started in the dish pit area, and then we bring them up, and it's such a great thing to see them come up.
Yeah, well, and I love that all of your employees are cross-trained, so everybody has experience everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the things that I was really big on getting my. It's not always easy working with family and working in a third generation, because past generations aren't always as forthcoming to change.
Yeah.
But it took a while even to convince. And even me and my sister will sometimes, debate back and forth on the best decisions for the restaurant. But I think overall, cross-training has been a blessing, especially for an establishment that has so many shifts like Thousand Oaks. Because, see, Cevallos has one shift, so it's not as difficult scheduling, but Thousand Oaks can be. And so the more you cross-train your team, the easier it is for managers to be able to make moves and to be able to fill positions that are necessary at different times.
Yeah. And so what made your mom decide, you know what, because, I mean, you've built such a community at Cevallos. I mean, it's a different community. So what made her decide, you know what, I want a Northwest location?
I think that would be myself.
Yeah.
I was very young. I was only 17, 18. And Thousand Oaks, thanks to my sister and my mother, had reached its, it was at full capacity. There's only so much you can do with the square footage.
You mean Cevallos?
Cevallos.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sorry. Cevallos was at full capacity. We were at a weight like we've always been and very blessed. And we knew that wasn't, the restaurant that we wanted to open in the evenings. And due to grandfathering in and just real estate, it just wasn't something we could expand on.
Yeah. So
my mom encouraged me, and she was always very good at incentives and pushing us. She's like, go to school and I will build it, So kind of like the Field of Dreams, you go to school, I will build it. So she bought the property right after high school.
What a great location.
Yes.
We live very close. She bought it maybe about 7 years before we actually started building. So she knew she could see it, and I think she knew it was an investment.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful restaurant, too. It's not just a building. It's, got decoration. It's got a little, almost like a watchtower-looking thing on the corner. It looks great. It's a beautiful location.
Mr. Stephen Kramer. Yes, Mr. Stephen Kramer was the architect on the project, and he did a beautiful job designing that for us. I think he incorporated our vision and what we saw. We wanted something modern but hacienda, but something that was in the middle. And I think he did really well at seeing our dream out. And me and Mom got to design the layout of the kitchen because as much as we love Cevallos, we're constantly in a traffic jam.
Right. Yes.
And so we wanted something that flowed, that allowed our team to work more efficiently and freely.
That's every restaurant owner's dream, is to design your own kitchen.
Yes, to be able to design. Yes, for sure.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, it is.
So now that, I guess I made the declaration that Cevallos is now part of Southtown. Would you consider starting to open in the evenings there, or you think you're just good where you're at?
I mean, it's something that's always stayed kind of in the back of my mind. I do have a son that's still in high school, so maybe once he gets through high school and my schedule opens up a little bit more, it's not something that's off the table, but it's still a couple years out.
Yeah. And there's so many downtown activities, conventions, parades, all kinds of things that I'm sure, help to really bring new people in all the time.
Especially with the expansion of the Riverwalk behind us, that project going on, and Southtown expanding as well. But I think one of the true things about Cevallos is the reason my mother only opened from 6 to 3 was because she was a single mother of 4. I think family was big to her. And I think the staff that has stayed along with the team is one of the reasons they work for us as well.
Yes.
So I think one of the hardest decisions is knowing that if we were to make that decision, we may lose some of our team. And I think that's the hardest thing for us.
Well, and I think that family is such a big and important part of you guys. I hear all the time, which I know that, but people tell me all the time, they need to be open on Sundays. They need to be open on. I'm sure you guys hear it all the time too. And I always tell them that's their family day. And of course, they're like, the heck with family. And I was like, no. But yeah, I mean, I think it's important, to have at least some kind of balance like that.
Yeah.
Very much so. And we are small, and, we're not able to offer all the benefits that maybe other companies can. But I know that our schedule is one of the most family related in our industry. And I think that that's what gets us to have our team that we have. And faith was very important to my grandparents, to my mother, and to us.
Yeah.
And Mom always said that as long as the Lord blessed her with having enough Monday through Saturday, she had no need to open on Sunday. And that was her faith.
That's wonderful.
It was never too ambitious. She said, if I make it Monday through Saturday, I don't need to open on Sunday.
That's awesome.
That is. That is. All right. Well, why don't we stop here and take a little break, and we'll be right back with more with Cassandra and Priscilla from Eddie's Taco House. We'll be right back. Susie, one of our biggest audience members is restaurant owners or people that are thinking about getting into restaurants. And from talking to them, the biggest issue they have in running a restaurant is their POS system.
Absolutely. It's such an important, of course, part of being a restaurant owner.
Yeah, and some of them they're just these big behemoth software companies that do so much it just gets. San Antonio POS is who we recommend because San Antonio POS is locally owned, locally managed, and you get local service.
Absolutely. And we've heard some restaurant owners who have been in such a pickle. They've needed to get a representative out there to fix something on their POS system because it is so important, and they haven't been able to get a hold of somebody or get somebody out there. They'll tell them it's 3 days before we can get somebody out there, and that is not workable. Where with San Antonio POS, because they are local, they're there and ready to help.
They're right away. San Antonio POS uses SkyTab, which is a software that was made for the hospitality industry, and it has everything you already want. But the first thing that our friend David Dyken that owns San Antonio POS, he'll come out and he'll sit with you and find out exactly what your processes are and design it for your restaurant.
Yeah, and one of the reasons, because we are really picky about who we work with, even sponsors. We want to make sure that they are.
You're not picky. You work with me.
Yeah. I'm very picky.
All right.
But David is amazing. He has a heart like we do, as far as the restaurant owners go, where he really cares and he goes in there. He wants the restaurant to succeed.
And he's been doing this more than 30 years, so he knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing, exactly.
Yeah.
The other cool thing about San Antonio POS is and that system is there's no hidden costs.
That's right.
So a lot of different systems, they charge for their gift cards, they charge for loyalty programs, they charge for all of those different types of things where it's all included.
Yeah, and not only that, right now they have a special. If you have a San Antonio POS put into your system, afterwards, you'll get $5,000 back. That helps to cover the cost for your training, helps to cover the costs of any downtime that you had while switching. It really is a great opportunity.
It is a great program. Exactly, yeah. So David Dyken is the individual that you want to get a hold of. He owns San Antonio POS, and as we said, amazing fella. And you can go to his website. Alan, his phone number is
210-723-6075.
Make sure you say that San Antonio Restaurants or the Flavors of Texas sent you.
That's right. And you can also go to our website, which is theflavorsoftexas.com. Scroll down to the bottom, and you'll see a banner that says San Antonio POS. Click on that, and it takes you right there.
Absolutely.
All right. And we are back, and this is The More You Know, The Better It Tastes. And today we have Priscilla Caballero and Cassandra Caballero, and they are the owners of Eddie's Taco House. And there's 2 locations of Eddie's. First of all, 402 West Cevallos Street, and also 3755 Thousand Oaks. And that Thousand Oaks location is close to my house, and it's open till 9 o'clock every night.
And has a full bar.
And has full bar, has everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, great place.
So recipes. So these are all family recipes that you guys are,
Yes.
Yes.
And even throughout the original recipes, the carniza, tortillas, tamales, yes, they're family recipes, but to give credit, even throughout the years, the cooks that have worked for us and the managers have incorporated their ideas into some of our specials.
Right. I love that. Yeah. So speaking of specials, you guys have some pretty amazing specials.
They really do.
You have a Monday through Thursday rollback special. You have breakfast taco specials in the morning. You have an omelet special on Friday. Just tell us about some of this. First, talk about the rollback specials, because that's pretty unbelievable what you guys are offering.
The throwback specials, I think, are some of the best, most economical, bang for your buck kind of specials you can get. Monday through and Tuesday, you have taco specials, which I think are amazing. Monday, you have your potato and egg and your bean and cheese. It's $2.99 for 2 tacos, but like Mr. Allen says, you're getting huge
They're
tacos.
huge.
And handmade quality. The potato and egg are literally, we're bringing in the potatoes in the morning of. We're literally peeling those potatoes and chopping them and frying them in-house. They're not coming in on a frozen bag with any type of preservatives. No, these are Idaho #2 potatoes, #1, depending on where the price is, to be honest with everyone. And then we peel them ourselves. And me and my brother grew up working the drive-thru as teenagers and middle schoolers, so we like to say we're some of the fastest potato peelers out there.
I hate peeling potatoes.
My best friend from New Mexico can say that, as I helped make mashed potatoes this Thanksgiving.
Right?
I was the fastest.
So speaking of your breakfast tacos really quickly, you guys actually won one of the best breakfast tacos from Texas Monthly.
So we were mentioned in Texas Monthly for one of the best 23 taco spots in San Antonio. So we were on that list. And then I want to say sometime last year they did the 50 best tacos in the state of Texas, and we were one of those for our bacon and egg or scrambled bacon and egg tacos.
I mean, and they're filled.
And believe it or not, I think it's made an impact at Ceballos because I'm doing the inventories and I'm like, why do I keep running out of bacon? And it's why? And I think it's because of that. So thank you, Texas Monthly, for always supporting us and mentioning us.
You give everyone a choice. They could either have a strip of bacon on it or mix the bacon up into the thing. I know.
Yeah, so we serve both types. We have the bacon, egg, and strip, or we have the bacon and egg scrambled. I will say that the bacon and egg scrambled is quite popular. And the bacon and egg scrambled is on our 10 taco special, our Wella special, and on our Hero Pack special.
I went last Friday and picked up tacos for my wife. She wanted bacon, egg, and cheese. And even though we've been to Eddie's a million times, she says, oh my God, it's so stuffed. Yeah, it always is. And then she made the point. She got the one with the bacon chopped up, and she said every bite has bacon in it.
Yeah.
So that's important.
So my husband and I also are big fans, and so we go all the time as well. And the last time, your eyes are always bigger than first of all, the chips are amazing. And so I always order those because they're so good, and the salsa. And then I remember I ordered the last time we went, I decided to get something different, and I wanted a beef fajita taco and a chicken fajita taco. Plus we ordered the chips and the salsa and the queso and all that kind of stuff. Oh my! I couldn't even finish one. It was so huge. But having said that, I mean, I brought it home and I had it later, and it was just as good. So anyway, I'm telling you guys, it's.
You know what, Susie? We have to quit getting so excited about this food, or she'll never get through the menu.
I know.
I'm sorry, we can't help it.
Good. I mean, it really is. So we get excited, you know.
Yeah. So finish telling us about the specials, the rollback specials.
So then we have Taco Tuesday, which is your chorizo and egg and papa ranchera, which are two of really great classic tacos. We're very blessed that we work with San Antonio Packing, APCO Company. They're a local meat company where we get our bulk chorizo as well as our bacon from. And they have great quality product. And I think that's what makes our chorizo so special. Yeah. The fact that we crack our own eggs and that perfect combination where you don't have too much chorizo and you don't have too much egg, just that perfect mix, and it's made fresh with our handmade tortillas just make it extra yummy. So the fact you can get 2 chorizo and egg, or chorizo and egg and a papa ranchera, or vice versa, 2 papa ranchera for only $2.99 all day. And this is even until 9 p.m. at night at the Thousand Oaks location.
It's $3.99.
Oh, sorry,
for that one, yeah. The first one's,
sorry.
First one's $2.99.
We did have it for $2.99 at the beginning.
Yes.
Sorry. We did have to go up because the market went up a little bit.
Yeah, eggs.
Yes.
Yeah.
We all know the struggle with eggs.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's still a great deal.
Yeah, $3.99 for 2 tacos. That are like
huge tacos.
Yeah.
You can get it all the way until 9 p.m. So if you want to stop by after work, the drive-thru's available. You stop by and you get your 2 chorizo and egg for only $3.99. It's just a great deal.
And then on Wednesday,
this is where I think the great quality comes in. You have your chicken fajita plate, which not only comes with your chicken fajita cooked with fresh bell pepper and onions, it's grilled. Then you have your choices of 2 sides, which is normally refried beans or rice, but you can substitute for no charge for steamed vegetables, for fresh French fries, for charro beans at no additional cost.
Oh, wow.
You get 2 sides, and it comes with 2 handmade tortillas.
I'm going to have to try that next time.
Our French fries are very good.
Okay.
We cut them in-house, double fried to make them nice and crispy.
Really?
Yes. And then you also get a drink. We brew our tea in-house. It's not powder. It's freshly brewed many times throughout the day. Very popular. We also have our fresh lemonade or any of the Pepsi products that we serve. So any of those options will also come with that meal. And it's only $6.99 all day, all the way until 9 p.m.
Crazy.
So it's a great deal.
It's a really good deal.
That is good.
Yeah.
And then the ultimate favorite, which is Thursday, the cheese enchilada with steak special, which I think sometimes gets a little hate or popularity. It just depends.
Yeah.
But it's a great special. 2 cheese enchiladas traditional with your chili meat. We grind our own chili meat in-house, and then it is prepared by our cooks and smothered on top of those yummy enchiladas.
Yeah.
And then you have your American cheese put on top. But you can also substitute at no additional cost for Monterey Jack or cheddar cheese,
Oh, wow.
which a lot of customers don't always know. And then same thing, it comes with 2 sides, either traditionally your Spanish rice and your refried beans. But like I said, you can get steamed vegetables, and the vegetables are brought in daily with our French fries, which we also cut in-house, or charro beans, which have lots of yummy tomatoes, onions. We put a little bit of franks in there, some bacon, some chicharron. So great combo in there, and all for the same price. And it comes.
What is that price?
$6.99, and it comes with a 3-ounce to 4-ounce little piece of steak. This is just a mini steak, just to get a little taste in there of some
I looked
beef.
at Cassie to see if it was the right price. But she got it right.
I'm like, did I get it right?
I'm making sure all the details are right.
That's what older sisters do, because younger sisters mess up.
I'm the detail person.
So you have another one that I thought was so fun, and it's so amazing, but you have a hangover special, which I love that.
Our after party special
After
on
party
Saturday.
special, that's it, yeah.
So Priscilla is a creative part of the
love
restaurant.
it.
So a lot of these specials have all been Priscilla. A lot of the vision of the restaurant and where it's going, like anything new that we put out, she comes up with the idea, and then I kind of like execute it out. And we talk about it, we debate it. But the after party special, I have to say, is one of our top notch ones. It's going to be your small menudo, and then it's going to come with the barbacoa taco on the side. And then they'll come with your onion, cilantro, jalapeno, and your pico de gallo, 2 tortillas, and then you also get your choice of drink.
Like the perfect after
whichever
party
you need.
special.
Yes. And the barbacoa taco, you can get it on flour or corn, homemade.
And again, it is filled and it's so good. It's one of my favorites.
So that's on Saturdays, you have that?
We have that on
before
Saturday.
3 p.m.
Our menudo's made fresh Saturday morning. I think we make anywhere about 40 pounds.
40 to 50 pounds.
Depending on the weather too. So the cold weather, we're always going to sell a little bit more menudo. But we make it in house. It has a lot of people like patita. Some people don't like patita. But you can get it with or without and all
You
of that
can't
good
get
stuff.
it without. I didn't know.
Yes.
I knew that it came with it.
Yes.
So, okay, good.
Just tell your server, and then we can get it without patita if you don't want the patita.
Okay.
Now, I will say that if you prefer lots of hominy, we're not a hominy-based menudo. Our menudo's probably, I would say, like 95% meat.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a more meaty type of menudo
It's delicious.
for you.
Yeah.
Really,
it's
really
A
good.
very
Yeah.
traditional, fresh taste. We make it fresh daily, and it's a great taste. It's Honeycomb, the cleanest, best brand out there. So very clean, not very greasy.
Yeah.
So great tasting menudo. And our barbacoa as well, we clean it in-house.
Oh my
We
gosh,
cook anywhere from
my
2
favorite.
to 2.5 boxes just on Saturday. 3 at the Ceballos location.
Yeah. So, but you can get that anytime. It's just a
Anytime. We
special-
cook it. It's just that on Saturday
Is when it's the
morning
special.
till 3.
Yeah.
Saturday all the way till 3 p.m. It is on special.
Yeah.
But we serve it every single day.
So when you're out having a good time on Friday,
You go to Eddie's on Saturday, we'll fix you up.
that's right. Exactly.
yes.
So one of the other things I wanted to chat about is your breakfast pockets.
Oh.
Those are a hit. They are so good. So tell us how those came about.
I have to be honest. I witnessed a customer who asked me if we could make it for him. And so we made this for him, and I think he ordered bacon and egg. He just wanted bacon and egg in a pocket, and so I made it.
And
then
a pocket would be
like a gordita. So Minnie will tell me it's just a gordita. Well, to me, it becomes a pocket when it's for
has
breakfast
eggs and it has
because I can put anything I want in it.
exactly. Yeah.
Versus a gordita traditionally is going to have either chicken or beef or pork, and your lettuce, tomatoes, and cheese.
Yes.
So to me, a pocket is like you can play with it any way you want. And so when I saw that, I started playing with it. And one of my favorite combinations was beans, chorizo, and potato with queso fresco, which we also offer at Eddie's. And so that's when we created the breakfast pockets.
Yeah, and these are huge. I mean, first of all, I've had the pleasure to be back in the kitchen, and I mean, these gorditas are being made from scratch. And it's so cool because it's I actually took a video of it, but traditionally, like very traditionally made. I mean, there was a with the glass, cutting the perfect circle, which I thought was the coolest thing ever. I mean, really like homemade, and then hand fried and the whole works, and just everything made to order. So it's hot, delicious, fresh made, and they're huge. They're huge.
Yes, and we continue to thank our customers, and we want to tell them thank you for taking those extra minutes, to giving us those extra minutes of time when we're making these items. Because freshness and quality is so important to us, we don't have these items pre-made unless they're typically on special and we have an idea that we're going to sell so many. But typically these pockets, as you say, Susie, are made to the order.
Yes.
And so it's a process. It does take at least 10 to 12 minutes, as fast as our crew can be. But because they're made from fresh and from scratch, it does take those extra minutes. Even our meat is cooked to the order, fajitas, asada.
Yeah.
But I think once you taste that first bite, it's worth it.
Exactly. Yeah.
What is something on the menu that not enough people order, and you think more people should be getting this?
I've always said that for a Tex-Mex restaurant, I think our burgers are incredible, and I think it's because we have our own butcher. The fact that we grind our own beef and that our cooks prepare the spices and it's cooked to order, and it's a good size patty. I would say half a pound. And the fresh vegetables just make it really good in the French fries. I'm not going to go as far to say that we compete with some of the very great established burger places out there, but for a Tex-Mex restaurant, I think our burgers are really good.
Well, because you have the fresh meat, it's butchered in house, and it makes such a difference, I think.
Yeah,
and you have your choice of cheese. You know what your preference is. You know, if you want cheddar, if you want Monterey Jack. And I just think, and with the bacon combination, because I think we have such great strip bacon. Again, thank you, San Antonio Packing, and our cooks that cook it perfectly.
Right.
But I think that really makes it extra special.
And you can add anything else you want to your hamburger as well. If you want an extra patty, we'll do that. If you want to put an enchilada on top, we'll do that. You want an egg on top, you want to add beans. So it's kind of, we have our base, but if you want to add anything to your hamburger.
They're very giving. They're very giving. We were talking before we started, I think actually before you were here, Priscilla, we were saying that the first time I went there, I saw it online somewhere. Somebody had a carne asada taco, which you guys have the best carne asada in San Antonio. I'm sorry to all my other friends that have restaurants, but theirs is the best. But then I had a fried egg put on top of it inside the tortilla. Oh my goodness, it was good. Yeah. That was so good. And y'all didn't mind, no? And this was before I actually knew you guys.
Yeah.
And y'all were, no problem. We'll do that.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Our mother was really big on that whatever the customer wanted, if we could make it happen and we had the ingredients for it, we were going to make it happen.
Yeah.
That's huge.
I love that. So how difficult is it running up 2 locations?
I don't find it, I will say this. At the beginning, I found it a little bit intimidating, especially to go to Thousand Oaks. I started at Ceballos when my mom opened it, like when I was 15 in high school. So Ceballos always has a special place in my heart. But then Thousand Oaks, is also great too. They have great staff, great people that are walking in and all of that good stuff. So I think it's just a matter of like finding your rhythm and your system. And then once you get that established, it works really, really great. I'm super blessed to work with a really great partner. And we kind of just each found our niche, and we know what we're good at and we know what we're not good at.
Yeah.
And we respect each other in that kind of way. And then I think that's why we make it work.
Amazing.
And sometimes we want to pull each other's hair out every now and then.
Well, that's all part of it, You wouldn't be partners if that didn't happen sometimes.
And sometimes our debates get a little bit heated and everything like that. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about, it's about Eddie's, and it's about the legacy, and it's about our customers and doing good for them. I think a lot of times people will underestimate like how much we work to get everything out and to make sure everything is good, but we really do. We try our best, and we try to be present as much as we can. Sometimes, for the longest time, I was a GM at Ceballos when my mom was alive, and I kind of never really wanted to be in ownership. Once mom passed, Priscilla kind of like, we got to do this. We got to do this together. Yeah. So I learned along the way, and a lot of times, some of my Ceballos customers will say like, we haven't seen you, where you been at, and all of that stuff, and I don't want, sometimes I do miss being out on the floor, but at the same time you realize like that's kind of not, it can't happen, because we're so busy with everything else. But super grateful. It's always fun, and it's always, it's a good time.
Yeah.
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 I want to spend a couple of minutes talking about catering, because you do a lot of catering. And, I've been to parties where people have hired you guys, and you've had somebody there serving. It was really great. Talk about your catering.
Well, catering started back when I was in high school. My mom has always, and I'm very, very proud that she did this to us, but every dollar that we ever made, that she ever gave us, we had to work for. And so I wanted a specific vehicle at the time when I was in my high school years, and so in early college years. And so, Ceballos was only open so long. So if I wanted to make more money, I needed to start catering. And so that's how I started our catering company, and I started to pick up weddings and quinceañeras or corporate events. And so she would make a deal with me. Well, if you sell this, I'll give you this. And that's how I started it. And once Thousand Oaks came around, it became a little bit too much. So we did back away from caterings for several years. Yeah. But in these last 5 years, especially with the help of my sister now, we have continued to do caterings. We do a lot more wholesale catering. What means by that is we prepare everything and the customer picks it up or we deliver it.
And I've done that type of catering with you guys many times where
Yes.
we picked up enchiladas and all kinds for parties and whatever. And it's amazing.
Yes. And you know what? And we try to keep it affordable. We're very big on making sure we keep it affordable and not trying to make as much money as we can because we want the return business. And we basically want to be the kitchen away from home.
Yeah.
We want you to come to us, make it so it's easier for you to be able to throw your event and be a part of your event. And
Yeah,
then we're also willing to go out there.
And it was so nice. And this is just part of, again, I think the hospitality and the environment that you guys have created there. But my husband went to go pick up we ordered a whole bunch of enchiladas trays, and the gentleman who had them ready for him, he went through all the instructions. Here's the degree, the temperature you want to put it on in your oven. Here's how long you want to put it in. Don't put it in until this particular time. So that way, anyway, it was so nice because he came home and he was ready. he handled it all. He was prepared. Anyway, but I thought that was really cool that that was part of it.
They take the extra time. It's really important for us to make sure that customers feel that they've gotten their money's worth and more. We always like to give a little bit more. My mom always taught us that, never to be stingy with portions. Yeah. And I think our customers can say that something we've been very true to is our portion sizes.
Yes,
we've never gone down on our portion sizes, and we never will. It's one of our standards and one of our foundations. And with the quality along with it. And most of the time, if me or my sister, or if not one of our great managers, will always be out or a part of those catering events, whether it be wholesale or going out to do on-site catering. Yeah. We take really big pride in making sure there's enough staff out there to give that service.
Yeah. No, so I actually attended a catering that you guys did, and this was for a huge school, and it was a huge event they were having. And I've told a few people this because I was kind of blown away by it, but because typically, when a restaurant goes and caters, I mean, you're of course you're there, serving the food and providing the food, and then once that part is done, then pretty much you're done, unless people come up and they want an extra drink or whatever. But you kind of took the extra step, the both of you, and you went out there with with your pitchers of tea, and asked anybody who wanted more, and you could tell that people were just like, wow, they were like, oh, yeah. Anyway, it just took things to a whole other level of and for your team to see that as well, I think is, you're kind of leading by example. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
And that comes from our mom. My mom, you're already here. So rather than just stand behind a table, why not go and give that extra service?
Right. Yeah, because people remember you then.
Exactly. If we can help by throwing away an extra bag of trash, even though it's not our responsibility, why not?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So I want to talk a little bit before we go. We want to talk about y'all are coming up on 50 years.
Yeah, I know.
So probably around July is what you're looking at, and you're going to have a customer appreciation.
Yes. So we're going to try to do a customer appreciation in July for all our customers. We will roll back our prices probably till like the opening of Cevallo's prices, because I can remember those prices. I can't remember the prices.
Not 25 cent tacos.
Yeah, we're not going to go all the way back to 25 cents.
Yeah.
I don't think we can do that. But I think we might roll back. I think we want to roll back to our prices when we first opened in 92 at Cevallo's. So it'll be sometime in July. We haven't quite set the menu yet, but we're real excited about that.
That is so exciting.
More than likely probably be like a Monday.
Probably a Monday. Yeah. I know that there was some debate of whether to have it at one location or have two separate dates. So I'm sure we'll maybe put a poll out there, see what the majority of our customers would like. If we maybe do it on two separate days so that each restaurant has its customer appreciation day, but definitely rolling back, definitely some giveaways. We're looking to work with some of our vendors for some giveaways to everyone who's worked with us.
So we're excited about it.
Yeah. I mean, so how does it feel to know that you're carrying on this legacy of generations of your family?
I think a lot of pride and just feeling very blessed, because I know, especially when we lost Mom in 2020, just even making it a year, now making it more than 5 years. Yeah. Our goal was just to survive, not just to make it and just to maintain what she had accomplished on her own.
Sure.
And I think the appreciation as mothers, as daughters, and as business owners is if we could go back to tell her, how did you do it? Because even with each other supporting us and with the great team we have around us, I don't know how she did it, raising all four of us on her own and building the restaurant that she did.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a It's a big responsibility. I feel like it's a big responsibility to keep the legacy alive. You know, my grandparents came in, they did, you know, they immigrated. They didn't know how to speak English. I mean, you know, my grandfather learned. They built the business from the ground up, and they worked really, really hard. And I think it just goes back to their work ethic and to be able to like take those hits and to just get back up. You know, they started my grandfather started his business at a time where, you know, immigrants didn't have the opportunities that we have now. And then my grandmother and my mother kept the businesses alive when women didn't have like the great opportunities that we have now. So all those struggles that they face, I feel like we have that responsibility to continue it. So even on those days when you don't want to get up and you're like, you know, you got to get up and you got to show face and you got to keep working. Even if Mom used to say, even if you just go in for a little bit, but you just go in and you do that. So I think that's really important.
Well, you guys are doing an amazing job.
Y'all
You really are. I mean,
y'all should be proud.
You should.
I know your mom is looking down and she's very proud of what y'all are doing.
Well,
We couldn't do it without the amazing people that God puts in our path, such as y'all.
yes.
I think that I've always felt, and so has my sister, that God brings the right people into your path just when you need it.
Yeah.
And we have a great team. None of what we do sitting at this podcast and getting to do our TikToks and our social media with you folks and getting mentioned in magazines and all of that, none of that happens without our staff.
Yes.
Our staff is like the bloodline
true.
of our restaurants. You know, every single one, their commitment to us, some of them throughout many, many years, it's a blessing.
Yeah.
It truly is a blessing. So all kudos to our staff.
Yes.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah.
You do have an amazing team.
An amazing team.
Yeah. I
Couldn't do it
sometimes
without
joke,
them.
I'm like, hey, I'm just here visiting you guys, you know?
Yeah.
And y'all are the ones that are, because they'll come up, ask a question. I'm like, y'all know what y'all are doing. I trust you guys. I'm just here to visit with you folks. And so they do an amazing
And
job.
they've grown with us. You know, it couldn't have been easy to come from an amazing leader like my mom and put the trust into us,
Yep.
you know, and to be there through every single obstacle and hold true with us. And we'll always be very grateful.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's amazing.
All right. Well, if you have not gone to Eddie's
Oh my
Taco
gosh.
House,
You have to
before,
go.
gotta
I'm
go.
telling you. I
Great
wouldn't
bargain,
steer you
great
wrong.
food, plenty, high quality. Yeah, you need to check it out. There's two locations.
And I think that like you said earlier, the name Eddie's Taco House, it doesn't do total justice for what you guys offer because it is probably one of the best Tex-Mex spots, both locations in the area, with a huge menu, really amazing menu. So
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
all
although the
kinds of good
tacos are
stuff.
really good. So.
You can't beat that.
Can't be the tacos; they're really good. Also,
Well, there's two locations, 402 West Savio Street and also 3755 Thousand Oaks, right there at the corner of Thousand Oaks and Wetmore or Bulverde. You get changes right there somewhere. So, Priscilla and Cassandra, thank you for being here.
Yes,
Thank you for having us.
Thank you
Always
for
a
having
pleasure.
us. We hope to see y'all. Come and say hi to us at the restaurant.
Please
Don't be shy.
do. Don't be shy. If y'all are new coming into the restaurant, we love to meet new people. So come on in. Just say hi to us. We'll have a conversation.
Yeah.
Super cool. Super cool. All right. Well, Susie, we will be back again with
We
another
will.
interview next week.
We absolutely will.
And it's going to be great.
Yes, and guys listening, go out and visit these amazing local restaurants because we have so many amazing people here in San Antonio.
That's right. That's right. We are very blessed.
We are.
And also tell your friends about this podcast. Be sure and share it. Let everyone know. The more you know, the better it tastes. And enjoy, but let everyone know about it.
Yeah.
All right.
And
well,
subscribe on YouTube.
there you go. All right. Well, until then, we'll see you again next time. So bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye guys.